Kawasaki Versys 1000 range. The Kawasaki Versys 1000 range will continue on into 2022 with only minor changes after the Japanese company confirmed the range will be expanded out to 3 trim levels. The Kawasaki Versys 1000 range is expanded for 2022 with the addition of a new entry-level standard variant, plus a new SE trim to sit above S. The flagship of Kawasaki's popular adventure tourer Versys lineup, the 1000 retains the same signature look and 999cc engine generating 118 bhp and 75 foot-pounds of torque. The big changes come with a rejig of the trim levels with the addition of a new top of the range SE version, plus the inclusion of a new standard model which provides a new entry point into the range. The existing standard is now known by the S trim. Kit levels on the Kawasaki Versys 1000 SE over the S include the addition of electronically damped Showa skyhook suspension and other electronic rider aids designed to promote greater confidence over touring adventures. The standard Kawasaki Versys 1000 meanwhile comes in at a competitive £12,099, but does without the electric rider aids and rider modes and TFT instruments, while a larger windscreen, grip heaters and hand covers are priced accessories. The Kawasaki Versys 1000 is the latest in a run of range updates from Kawasaki, many of which are expected to feature in an upcoming unveiling by Kawasaki's USA arm, plus the recently revealed Kawasaki Z650 RS. Kawasaki will then have 3 models to present during November's EICMA show in Milan, with rumors pointing towards a successor to the Kawasaki ZX6R sports bike. Kawasaki Versys 1000 gets new variants for 2022. The Kawasaki Versys 1000 family will see the addition of 2 variants in 2022, albeit ones that sport minor changes. The Japanese giants have confirmed that the Versys 1000 will be available in a top-of-the-line SE version and a base standard model set on either end of the already available model that now adorns an S suffix. All 3 variants will be powered by the same 1043cc inline-4 engine, with peak output figures unchanged at 120 horsepower and 75.2 foot-pounds of torque. The bike's design is the same, and nearly all the differences are to do with the hardware components and electronics. The top-end 2022 Kawasaki Versys 1000 SE will feature electronically damped Showa skyhook suspension, in addition to a comprehensive electronics package that includes multiple power modes, cornering ABS, and adjustable traction control. On the flip side, the base model does away with most of the electronics, no rider aids, power modes, and TFT display. You do have the option of kitting the bike with a windscreen and heated grips. Kawasaki Versys 1000 is priced at €11,995, about $13,914, making it a whole €4,700, about $5,452, more affordable than the range-topping SE. Kawasaki recently did the same thing with the Kawasaki Z900 by introducing a higher-spec Z900 SE. The 2022 Kawasaki Versys 1000 adds 2 new trims and adds more bang for buck to this versatile ADV tourer. Among adventure motorcycles, the Kawasaki Versys 1000 has been more of a dull yet packed deal. Dull here is not in terms of what this Kawa has to offer, but in the overall charisma that the Versys 1000 puts forth. It looks bland and has a dated design language with a splash of green. In the exciting and drooling lineup from Kawasaki for 2022, this sure looks out of place. And if you put it against the competition, that includes the much beefier looking ones like the KTM 1290 Super Adventure R, BMW S1000XR, Ducati Multistrada V2, Yamaha Tracer 900 GT, and Triumph Tiger Sport, this green entity doesn't stand a chance. As the Versys cannot go balls out here, Kawasaki has taken a rather mellow turn for 2022. The new Versys follows a less is more mantra, which adds a new base trim that is cheaper, but doesn't compromise on its commendable electronics package or performance. Its USP is still the impressive value for money perspective that, despite its dull outlook, makes it a jack among its pricey competitors. The 2022 Kawasaki Versys remains one of the most versatile adventure touring motorcycles out there. And its impressive list of touring-ready accessories makes things much easier for the nomadic riders. The 2022 Kawasaki Versys 1000 adds 2 new trims and adds more bang for buck to this versatile ADV tourer. 2022 Kawasaki Versys 1000 updates, a Versys for everyone. Kawasaki has gone simple with the 2022 Versys 1000, and this is because of a humbler and possibly cheaper trim edition called Standard. This is also accompanied by a new top-of-the-line trim called SE that sits above the already existing S trim from last year. Prices for the Versys 1000 SE starts at £14,999, rising to £16,699 for the Grand Tourer with larger panniers and more practical pillion solution. That said,